Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Microbial World. In this video, we will be learning about innate immunity. So what is immunity? Immunity is our body's ability to resist infections and toxins. It is broadly divided into innate immunity and adaptive immunity. In this video, we will be focusing on innate immune system. Innate immunity is our body's first line of defense against infections. We call it innate or inborn immunity because we are born with it. So what we need to understand is that it is not a type of immunity that is developing after exposure to an infection. It is a natural type of immunity that is always ready to fight off germs. Now, what are the characteristics of innate immunity? Innate immunity is non-specific, which means it does not distinguish between different pathogens. The response is general and it acts in the same way for bacteria, viruses, fungi or parasites. Innate immunity has an immediate response, so it acts within minutes to hours after infection. There is no lag phase like adaptive immunity, and this rapid action is preventing the pathogens from multiplying. Innate immunity has no immunological memory, which means it does not remember the previous infections. The response is identical each time a pathogen enters. It is evolutionarily older. Now, this type of immunity is found in all multicellular organisms, including insects and plants. It is a primitive defense system that evolved before adaptive immunity. And innate immunity has limited diversity, which means it recognizes the common features of pathogens. It does not generate millions of receptors like adaptive immunity does. How does the innate immune response work? The first step is recognition of pathogens. Cells have special receptors called PRRs, pattern recognition receptors. Now, what are these PRRs? Immune cells like macrophages, dendritic cells, and neutrophils have PRRs on their surfaces or inside them. These PRRs detect PAMPs, that is pathogen-associated molecular patterns, and they trigger an immune response. Examples of PRRs include toll-like receptors and NOD-like receptors. Pathogen-associated molecular patterns, PAMPs, are molecular structures that is commonly found in microbes but not in host cells. Examples of PAMPs include lipopolysaccharide on gram-negative bacteria, peptidoglycan in bacterial cell wall, viral double-stranded RNA, flagellin, that is protein which is found in bacterial flagella. As you can see in the figure, the macrophage has a PRR on its surface, that is pattern recognition receptor. It recognizes the PAMP, which is the lipopolysaccharide on gram-negative bacterial cell wall. The lipopolysaccharide binds to the PRR, which results in the activation of signaling pathway. The signaling pathway causes the transcription factor NF-kappa B to enter the nucleus. NF-kappa B initiates transcription and the secretion of cytokines such as interleukin 8, interleukin 1 and tumor necrosis factor alpha. Physical barriers. Physical barriers are our body's first line of defense against invading pathogens. These barriers stop the germs from entering the body. So we could say that they act as mechanical obstacles and prevent the entry of microbes into the body. Now these barriers are always present and working. As we all know, skin is the largest organ and the most important physical barrier. It is made up of tightly packed epithelial cells. The outermost layer, stratum corneum, is tough and waterproof, which makes it hard for the bacteria to cross it. The regular shedding of dead skin cells also removes any attached microbes. Mucous membrane. Mucous membrane is found in the nose, mouth, lungs and gut. This means it is lining the respiratory, gastrointestinal and urogenital tract. Now the mucous membrane is not very tough as the skin, but it produces mucus that traps microbes and dust. Cilia are tiny hair-like structures in the airway. Cilia in the respiratory tract, it beats in a coordinated way to push mucus and trapped microbes out. This is called mucociliary escalator. Coughing and sneezing are other mechanical actions that helps to expel microbes out. Peristalsis also helps to remove invaders. Peristalsis are wave-like muscular movements of the digestive tract. It moves food and also pushes along any microbe that is trapped in the food or mucus. Chemical barriers. Chemical barriers are substances produced by the body that destroy or inhibit the growth of pathogens. These chemical barriers work together with physical barriers to stop the microbes from entering and multiplying. As we all know, sebum skin oil is produced by the sebaceous glands and sweat is produced by the sweat glands. These secretions contain fatty acid and lactic acid that make the skin slightly acidic. This acidic environment prevents the growth of many bacteria and fungi. Lysozyme is an enzyme found in saliva, tears, mucus, nasal secretions and sweat. It breaks down the peptidoglycan in bacterial cell wall and it is especially effective against gram-positive bacteria. Stomach acid. The stomach produces hydrochloric acid. The stomach acid has a very low pH and it is so strong that it kills most of the ingested pathogens. This protects the body from foodborne infections. Antimicrobial peptides. Antimicrobial peptides are small proteins produced by the skin and mucous membrane. They can directly kill bacteria, viruses and fungi by disrupting their cell membrane. Examples of antimicrobial peptides include defensins and cathelicidins. Other secretions include vaginal secretions. Vaginal secretions has an acidic pH that helps to control bacterial growth. Earwax traps microbes and dust and it also contains antimicrobial properties. Cellular defenses. Cellular defenses are specialized immune cells that recognize, engulf, kill or destroy the invading pathogens. They are a part of the second line of defense. They get activated if the pathogens overcome physical and chemical barriers. The main cells involved are phagocytic cells. Phagocytic cells engulf and digest microbes and debris through a process called phagocytosis. Neutrophils are the most abundant white blood cells. They are the first to arrive at the infection site. They are short-lived but very effective at killing bacteria and fungi. Macrophages. Macrophages are derived from monocytes in the blood. They are larger and longer living than neutrophils. They are found in tissues, for example, alveolar macrophages in lungs, Kupffer cells in liver. They not only destroy the pathogens but also remove dead cells and debris. Macrophages phagocytose the pathogen, process the antigen and present them to helper T cells via MHC class II molecule. Therefore, they are also called as antigen-presenting cell. Dendritic cells are found in the skin and mucous membrane. Dendritic cells are also antigen-presenting cells. They capture the pathogen and present their antigens to T cells, connecting innate and adaptive immunity. Natural killer cells. Natural killer cells are large granular lymphocytes. They destroy virus-infected cells and tumor cells. They do this by releasing perforins and granzymes that punch a hole in the target cell and trigger apoptosis, that is, cell death. Other cells include eosinophils. Eosinophils attack larger parasites like worms. They release toxic granules to destroy the parasites. Basophils and mast cells play a role in inflammation and allergic responses. They release histamine, which increases blood vessel permeability and attracts other immune cells. Inflammatory response. Inflammatory response is our body's protective reaction to infection, injury, or tissue damage. The goal is to contain and eliminate harmful agents, remove damaged tissue, and start healing. The cardinal signs of inflammation include redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function. During an injury or infection, pathogens enter or the tissue is damaged. Injured cells, mast cells, and macrophages release chemical mediators such as histamine, prostaglandins, cytokines, and chemokines. This results in vasodilation. The blood vessels widen, causing more blood flow and resulting in redness and heat. Vascular permeability increases. The blood vessels become leaky and fluid proteins and immune cells exit, causing swelling. Neutrophils and macrophages move to the site by the process of chemotaxis and destroy the pathogens by phagocytosis. Inflammation is important to stop the spread of infection and to bring immune cells and nutrients to the site. Complement system. Complement system is a group of 30 plasma proteins that help the immune system to destroy pathogens. It is named complement because it complements, it helps antibodies and phagocytic cells. The functions of complement system includes opsonization, tagging pathogen for phagocytosis. This means the pathogens are coated with molecules called opsonins that enhance their recognition and ingestion by phagocytic cells such as macrophages and neutrophils. Common opsonins include complement proteins such as C3b and antibodies such as IgG. Chemotaxis, attracting immune cells to the site. As we have already said, chemotaxis is an important process for immune cells like neutrophils and macrophages to reach the site of infection or inflammation. The chemicals that attract these cells are called chemoattractants. For example, complement product C5a, bacterial products, or cytokines. The third function is cell lysis. Before we understand about this function, we need to know that the complement system has three pathways: classical pathway, lectin pathway, and alternative pathway. Classical pathway is triggered when antibodies bind to a pathogen. Lectin pathway is triggered when mannose binding lectin binds to sugars on the pathogen's surface. And alternative pathway is triggered spontaneously by direct contact with pathogen's surface. Now all these pathways leads to the formation of membrane attack complex. The mucus formed by complement proteins such as C5b, C6, C7, C8 and C9 molecules. This complex inserts itself into the pathogen's cell membrane, creating pores or holes in the membrane. This results in cell lysis. The cell swells and bursts. The final function is clearing immune complexes, which means the complement system helps to remove antigen-antibody complexes. So this is all about innate immune system. I hope that the video was useful for everyone. Do comment your doubts and subscribe the channel for more informative videos. Thank you for watching.